Leo. Welcome to the for Leo. Now is Leo season. It's about to move into Virgo season. The fixed fire, Leo. Fixed fire. Leo the flame. So in the present energy, Leo, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So this has to do with your money, your career, your resources. This is having already planted the garden. Right now is the Capricorn Moon, which I see as the one who plants the garden as the cardinal earth. So you have really put in work to something, and now you are just kind of sitting back and seeing the fruits of your labor. The challenge energy is the Eight of Swords, which is feeling a little bit stuck in something and not realizing that you can get out of it. And this can have to do with just an idea about the self or about something else. And so feeling a little bit stuck. I don't know if that's about how as you're just waiting for these pentacles to see how they develop, maybe that is the feeling of stuckness and you're wanting to move forward more with that passionate Leo energy, or maybe they're kind of two processes that aren't entirely related. But maybe there's a feeling of stuckness to just kind of waiting and watching to see how things grow. In the recent past, we have the Two of Swords in the reverse. So maybe having trouble making a decision and really just not sure of which way to go with something. And now you're just kind of waiting, maybe deciding to wait to see what came from, to see sort of hold on one second. So that's pretty funny. My cat, who actually is a Leo, born on the first day of Leo season, was just stuck in the bathroom for a couple minutes. So that's funny that this is about a Leo, maybe having the sensation of being stuck. In the recent past, sort of having trouble making a decision about what to do about something, and just feeling overwhelmed by that. But now just waiting to see what is going to grow from what you've planted. And then the near future is the Two of Wands, so passionate fire energy about planning and progress. So it's you haven't been sure necessarily about what to do. You've just been waiting to see what's going to be the outcome of the work that you have already put into your resources, into your sense of stability. And now you are maybe thinking of new plans or something that's coming up on the horizon. And maybe that's why you're feeling a little bit stuck in the meantime, because you're not yet to this point of making the plan. In the energy that is conscious for you is the Lover's card in reverse. So this can be about having trouble with your choices. So this matches in the recent past of the Two of Swords in the reverse. This is also air energy, Gemini. The Aquarius full moon is coming up tomorrow or the next day, in the next few days. And so this is about having trouble balancing out your temptations, about not being sure about what choice to make, and it can have to do with having trouble sort of integrating the two or multiple sides of who you are or somebody else's, but having a little bit of trouble with a certain sense of temptation. And that could be about temptation to anything, and that's not necessarily around our addictions, but just having a trouble with like making choices, maybe like for yourself. But this is a major arcana card, so it's like some sort of like major divine energy. So it's not just like the everyday, like the minor arcana card, sort of like having trouble making choices for some reason. And in the subconscious energy, there's a little bit of like a controlling energy with a major arcana card, so as above, so below. Gemini, Aries, they can both have that, earlier part of the chart with like this more like burst of energy, sort of like a younger energy, but I don't like to say that it's like less mature towards the beginning of the zodiac and more mature as you go along, because that's just not how it works. But like baby Aries and like almost like feeling like petulant and controlling, and you're sort of like, I don't know if you're putting this energy towards yourself or towards other people. Like it's looking like you're wanting to make a plan for how to like do something new with your life, at least some portion of your life. I feel a little stuck because I don't know, I think you haven't like processed something in a way that is able to get you in touch. I don't see any cup energy here, so not really any intuition being used or put into play. I don't see any, a lot of major arcana cards. I don't see any cup energy here in general. And Capricorn Moon, I feel like, especially with Chiron retrograde right now, I think there's just like a lot of healing energy and people like really looking at themselves and like their weaknesses and things like that. Interesting, this came out also for the Cancer reading right before this, the Page of Swords. So like you're expressing yourself, working to express yourself, but maybe it's like all talk and no action, and you're being really hasty with how you communicate. The Emperor in reverse is like not in control of what they're doing. They're like being controlling because they don't know how to actually communicate effectively. And so like you're working to express yourself, so that's good, but also make sure that what you're saying has like a grounding in earth. The Capricorn Moon, Virgo season coming up, make sure that you are grounded in earth and not just kind of like flying off the handle about stuff, and like you're in touch with like your real intuition and not just your emotionality. Like making a plan. Virgo season coming up, you're making a plan. Like, and the advice is like you should be, being a little hasty, just expressing yourself, saying what you need to say, communicating your ideas. The energy surrounding you is the Chariot card in the reverse, so this is like feeling like a lack of energy, and that makes sense with this sort of feeling of being stuck, just kind of looking to see what you've planted with the Capricorn Moon, what's going to come of all of your hard work, and feeling it just delayed in this moment. Feeling kind of controlled and stifled from something. A fear is the Sun card in reverse, so your card, Leo, in the reverse, just like disappointment. You don't want to be disappointed by your life. You don't want to be disappointed by the situation. Like if there's another part of your life that you haven't necessarily worked on, you don't want to have not explored pieces of like yourself. You want to be happy. This can be like, you don't want to be unhappy. No one wants to be unhappy, but like, especially like a Leo who like is the heart, is the sun. Like Leos really want to feel that sun. And the outcome here is the Empress card. So the Empress is really just fertile abundance. So on like a feminine vibe of it, with like that femininity being very strong, like the Earth Mother, like moving into Virgo season with the Capricorn Moon, tapping into your sense of fertility and abundance, and that can come in many forms in your relationships, but in your finances and everything too. So you're feeling like a little stuck with something and you don't want to be, hush baby, Leo, and you don't want to be unhappy, but like the outcome is that you're not going to be unhappy. Literally standing in your Venus, your love and beauty and career success, your success in love and beauty. So, and a lot of major arcana energy, so this is like a bigger moment in your life than just the everyday. But I'm interested to see like what might be some advice in this, because and the advice, I didn't have like a clear advice from the Cancer one either necessarily. Honey, Please, please, please. I didn't have any advice there, but it came out like later. So, but you want to make a new plan. You want to do something maybe a little bit new. And so you're expressing how you feel, and like you're working to mix your duality, and so there's like a strong Leo energy to like how you're experiencing all of this, but it's actually like not so. It's like you're moving ahead like pretty solidly, like as the masculine side of the home. So Tower, solid foundation, success with effort. So right, so you're forming in the earth. So that this fire, just passionate energy is moving into more of an earth, solid energy of getting your resources, working to have what you need, being grounded in success, solid foundation, success with effort, and that's what I'm seeing here as well. You're putting in the work, but like you will have success. Someone working against you behind your back, rat. So like maybe that is happening for some reason. Money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. So it's like you're looking for a new plan, and it's like you're working to see like, okay, I put in all of this work, like where are my pentacles? And the outcome for you is abundance. So a path with money is waiting for you to find it. Maybe there's like a new idea or something that you haven't fully explored, and you could do that or just keep it moving because you're taken care of. Interested by what that one is. And a Capricorn Moon is definitely, it is a capitalistic sign. It's just like, think about your money. All earth signs are like that, so interesting that, with the earth coming around the corner, especially, Leo is your season, but now with the Capricorn Moon moving into Virgo season, like maybe you are going to tap into some of that earth energy as well in this moment. So here are the colors of cards. So intuition, stop, and consciousness. So yeah, I was thinking like there's not a lot of cup energy here, so maybe that is one way that you can just keep it moving. Intuition is an inner knowing that we all possess. So society encourages us to ignore the deep knowledge that sits within us and asks us to use intellect instead. But sometimes intellect alone can't guide you where you need to go. The more you pay attention to your intuition, the stronger it becomes. What is your intuition trying to tell you? Where is it guiding you? So like, yeah, the subconscious energy of like Aries, the head in the reverse, like feeling like controlled by like thought processes. The challenge is sword energy. And your advice is sword energy. But maybe bring some intuition into like that headiness. I think like fire like can also move toward, has its own kind of intuition, but like maybe working towards more like water intuition, which can like dampen the fire a little bit, but it also like feeds, refeeds the lamp. So where is your intuition about things guiding you with this plan? Because you are going to be, the Empress, but maybe intuition will help you get there. Stop. And like it looks like you're feeling like a delay here, so delays are usually divinely guided. This card asks you to stop and reflect, collect your thoughts, or maybe even just take a break. It may also be a good time to think about what stopping might mean to you. Is it a forever stop? Is it a pause? Is it time to move forward, or simply change your direction? So like, how are you moving? And it looks like kind of slow right now, so like stop is like the energy that's surrounding you. You're feeling stuck. It may be like to take a break from this like fiery energy that's burning the land and transform into the land. Maybe just take a break. Stop and think about like what you're going to do next with this planning. And consciousness. Consciousness is our ability to feel and sense what is around us and within us, and to tap into a deeper universal connection. Allow yourself to go beyond yourself and your ego, the sun, Leo. Tune into this consciousness deeply as you move forward on your journey. So like tapping into consciousness and intuition, I think, is like a good idea in this situation, because I don't see cups, and so we always need like a balancing of things. And so you're not seeing cups, especially with this fire and earth energy. Like you need the water, because the fire and the earth only together can burn down the land, and so you really need water. And interesting, because first reading today was Cancer. I'm getting just a lot of water imagery, and I'm not totally sure, except that, the full moon coming up tomorrow or the day after this weekend is Aquarius, which is an air sign, but the water bearer. So it's like a reminder to mix kind of together that head and heart of things. Mercury and the sun. Thinking and feeling together, because it's always about balance. We always need to be like working towards balance. And so tapping into your intuition, stop and like think about stuff for a second. The fire has a hard time stopping. Like once a fire gets going, like it can really burn, especially if the land is dry. So you really need to bring in this intuitive energy and this consciousness energy to get away from the ego sense of things, at least the unhealthy side of ego, and move towards a balancing that that feeds us and nurtures us in a new way that can take the shape of anything. Tapping into that nurturance and that creative activity and project. So whatever your consciousness and intuition is kind of leading you towards, keep trying to figure out what that voice is more than just like the feeling about stuff, and you'll find your abundance. Moon card. First is take time to breathe out. So Aquarius, full moon, disseminating moon. So nice deep breath. And in through the nose, out through the mouth can be nice. And as well as making the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. So you're not as, so that you have more of that relaxation time in there. And actually 2 others came out. So step out of your comfort zone, North Node, and what do you need to release? So the most natural one that popped out was take time to breathe out. Like maybe just stop, take a breath so that you can listen to that intuition. And then maybe stepping out of your comfort zone, thinking and planning about some new passion project with the fire, and what do you need to release so you can get onto this new journey of abundance, moving towards like an earthy energy of stability and having the abundance that you need while feeding that earth with the water energy. And in order to get there, you have to like stop and allow this stuck feeling, allow this Chariot card, the water in reverse, stop for a second so that you can get in touch with that intuition. Sometimes that's like the only way. You have to stop the other stuff that you've been doing that's like blocking that intuition. Divine discontent. So 12 is Pisces sign, more water. Divine discontent. Winter falls upon us so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing. Sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. The energy surrounding you, like cry the tears, Cancer energy in the reverse. Allow that longing. Sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. I know your heart, I hear it beating. I hear it breaking and groaning in darkest night when you imagine yourself to be silently cast adrift in sleep. It speaks to me, that sacred heart of yours, whispering its longing and bemoaning its divine discontent. It knows when something is amiss. It senses that something is not quite right as yet. There is a piece of the puzzle missing. Even in its tremendous gratitude for all that is, and there is much gratitude and sweet appreciation in that precious heart of yours, Leo season, there is a murmuring, a questing. It cries out to heaven, vouchsafe me a blessing. I cannot go on, I am broken and in need of your tenderness for healing. I am empty and in need of filling, not with stuff and bits, but with the most precious nectar of divine fulfillment. Nothing else will satisfy me. Please, please restore me the wholeness. I can bear this missing piece, this broken disarray no longer. I listen and I cajole that wise heart of yours. I praise it for its honesty and longing, for the longing is an irresistible perfume to the beloved, attracting the only salve that will soothe the divine discontent of your truth-speaking heart, that of divine presence, absolute and unquestionable. So, just like the divine is real, so like sometimes even like your grief and your discontent, like just understanding that is the truth. I didn't used to believe that. It doesn't just like feel good to believe it, but it has been humbling and rewarding. And so you feel like a little discontented right now, but like you have the universe, and you will be the Empress. and you will be free. You're waking up. You're waking up and learning from yourself, like the areas that you move too fast in. You don't deal with your own temptations. You don't deal with your controlling nature. And so you're feeling stuck up partially because like you are maybe sometimes stuck up, maybe because you're not expressing yourself in a mature way. You're not thinking before you speak, or you're not realizing that why the things that you take part in also are painful. And so you are divinely discontented so that you can figure out how to move on to the next spot, because you don't want to be unhappy, but like this is like your fear is this unhappiness that maybe it's going to last forever or something. But if you just like stop and take some time to get in touch with like your intuition truly, I know it can be like a scary process to do that, and like confusing because it's like seems like a very abstract idea. I like doing it by like mind body exercises, like really getting into your body and like using your body as a meditative experience. Maybe you need to release something. What do you need to release? Maybe you are making yourself feel blocked up by like not taking the next step to help release something that you just have to, even if it hurts. And step out of your comfort zone. Take time to breathe and bring in that watery intuition. To both breathe and use water is definitely Aquarius full moon. Don't misinterpret pain and think that something really is wrong. If you're surrounded by status and money and cannot understand why you should mourn, it is even more important that you allow yourself to do so. Mourning is to be felt. Understanding is not so relevant. So, even if it seems like there's nothing for me to be upset about in this exact moment, like there should probably is at some point. So it's just like, yeah, it's beautiful that you have such a solid foundation. You have like money coming to you, but like maybe there is, an energy that's making you feel heavy and sad, and that's okay. It's okay to mourn. It's okay for the thoughts to be like meditating and trying to let the thoughts pass, but having each one that comes up be a little shadowy. Like that's just what is happening in that moment, and that's okay. It's part of the whole thing about mindfulness. So the discontent divine growing within you is the beginning, not the destiny. Its purpose is to lead you into your greatest connection yet with divinity. Do not resist it. Witness it. Do not dismiss it, trying to cover up its smell with rose petals. Let your rank discontent be the pathway to divinity. Look beyond what has been prized and treasured, and is found to be plated, and not the precious gold it was once esteemed to be. Don't be scared, for you are my sidekick on this great holy adventure. I am here, you see, just around the corner. I have you in my sights, though you may not see me yet. I'm holding a loaf of fresh bread, hot from the kitchen of the Creator, hoping to entice you into its wafting scent, tempting you to follow me towards something of far more substance, getting towards this Empress. If you are still stuck on pine-scented air freshener, the stuff that you think is supposed to be good, but that's not what's the good stuff, imagining it as anything akin to the wild scent of the pine forests for real, Capricorn Moon moving into Virgo season, the Earth, then how can I tempt you? How can I tempt you to go towards like the real pine trees and not the, fake air freshener stuff? Let the stench be the stench, then the fragrance of God can be discerned, and together we can leave what is left less than behind. Once and for all, grabbing like hungry school children, Leo the king, the child, the clown, the king or queen, the child, the clown. For the divine bread with sweet, fresh scent filling the air. So the Empress, cooks for the people who she loves and feeds them. And so it's like, come to the Empress. Don't have, the Empress energy. Like really feel in your life, and don't, settle for the fake sugar stuff, Go for the real sugar, but maybe have like less of it and really experience like the quality of the essence of your life. And then you will not feel maybe some of this stuck energy or as much of the grief, and you'll be able to plan for how to move on to the next step. Move towards the Empress. Get the real thing, because that's what you deserve. Thanks for joining, Leah.